Welcome to episode 4 now. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth.
I know.
The Swift Department.
Yeah.
We've done 4 songs. Cling. On the Denial playlist.
Yep.
Now there's 4 songs left, so we're halfway through the Denial playlist. And the next 4 songs are heavy hitters.
Huge.
Absolute heavy hitters. I feel that we have a lot to say.
Mm-hmm. We do. I honestly, these probably next 4 songs be some of my favourites, I reckon.
Yeah.
Out of the 31, which is like a big thing to say, I think.
It is. This episode we're going to be doing 2 of those songs.
Yes. Before we dive in, since recording the last episode, we had some more thoughts about Robin. Mostly because I heard a fan theory that I just thought was very accurate about Robin, specifically who Robin is. So for me...
Yes, tell us.
We kind of debated, like, maybe it was Aaron's son. Was it son?
Son.
Yeah. And so because we felt like it was definitely Taylor talking to a child, her inner child, a child. So we kind of settled on Aaron. But since then I saw an interview with Ryan Reynolds on the Today Show, and he was asked about the name of his 4th child with Blake Lively.
Blake and Ryan's children's names are referred to in Taylor's songs.
Yep.
Through characters that she's created.
Yep. And
she's
they are
named them Betty, Inez, and James.
Perfect. Great names.
Great
Not
names.
too sure about Inez, but you know.
I think Inez is cute. Innie. That would be a bit of a weird nickname. Innie. Like a belly button. Innie or out. Honestly, people, I surprise myself sometimes with some of the things that come out of my mouth.
I was like, in what world is that a good nickname?
Do we have? You're crying, you've got a tear.
Yeah, well, you know I laugh. I cry when I laugh a lot.
Or she claps really loudly. One of the two, crying or clapping.
Yeah.
Back to the story at hand.
Basically, I saw Ryan Reynolds do an interview on the Today Show, and
You said that in such an Australian accent. I'm going to wet myself. The Today Show. I saw it. We've got people in other countries listening to this. Finland.
Croatia.
Croatia.
My parents.
Okay. We don't want to do another side note, but we released our first episode on Monday, and I have Spotify for Podcasters app on my phone, and I can see all the analytics. It said that our viewers were in Australia and Croatia, and I was thinking, who the heck is in Croatia?
I know.
How did those people find us? And then I realised
Karen and Wayne.
it's Alice's parents travelling through Croatia. Anyway.
We digress
We
again.
digress yet again.
And again. Anyway, I saw... I can't get it out. Give me a minute.
Because this is only meant to be a 2-minute tidbit.
Yeah, I understand.
Do you want me to say your bit?
I can't say
Okay,
the
so
Today
I'm-
Show because you paid me out so badly. But...
Okay, I'm going to continue, and when you think you're ready, you just raise your hand and you can take over.
Yeah.
So Alice saw an interview on the Today Show. It wasn't the Australian Today Show.
No, the US Today Show.
Did they have one as well?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't watch Daytime. Oh, you
It was
don't
on
either.
TikTok.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to shame
I
you.
saw an interview on TikTok, and it was him speaking to one of the hosts, saying that they said, "Oh, what's your child's name?" And he was being all coy about it. Basically said, "Oh, well, we wait for Taylor to tell us the name of our children," which was very, very sweet. And that kind of got me really thinking: do we actually already know the name in this new album that they just haven't announced it yet? And that got me thinking of Robin. I deep dived further into that, and I googled Blake Lively's siblings. What I found was that Blake has a sister, and her name is Robin.
Wow, good stalking.
You know, there's a Robin on the song, sister named Robin. There's a connection there.
There is. So it could be that, or it could be because Aaron Dessner's son is called Robin.
Maybe
That's what TikTok and Reddit say. So we don't know for sure unless it comes out of his mouth. But
totally.
Should we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's wrapped.
It's wrapped. Signed, sealed, delivered. That. Okay, cool. Let's get in. Let me get our notes here. Alice and I have both printed out the lyrics.
And made our notes.
And made notes, but we also just want to freestyle and keep it organic.
Yeah.
The next song we're going to talk about is an absolute banger of a song. My Boy Only Breaks His Favourite Toys. Track 3.
Track 3, yep.
On the album.
Credits.
Taylor. Just Taylor.
Yeah.
All Taylor.
No wonder why I love it so much.
And it gives me goosebumps also thinking of the fact that Taylor wrote it and produced it.
Like,
she produced it then, right? That's how it worked.
Not necessarily, probably could be her and Jack, but she wrote it herself.
She wrote all the lyrics herself.
I
think you should start.
The music in this is it's so unique. It's similar to, and we'll get to this obviously, but this, you know, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, that has like a marching band vibe. This also, for me, has a very, and not just because she says the sickest army doll, even the music is like an army sound.
Yeah, I love how I don't know if this is the right terminology because I'm not a muso.
Yeah.
But she's harmonizing with herself. Like there's other tracks on there.
I know what you're saying. Yep.
Harmonizing with herself, and it sounds, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's very eerie.
Yeah, it is. And you can hear like the drum in the background. Yeah.
Oh, it's
and
so good.
It's like going to war. To preface it with that, I was thinking, okay, going to war, like, and I did a bit of a research on
here we go.
Yeah, Maddie, because sorry, we've got to start this again, just so that we say
we love to ask ourselves these questions
Yes.
at the start of each episode.
Yeah.
Who do you think it's about?
Yeah, Maddie. Who do you think it's about?
It's so Maddie.
Yeah, exactly. And we know in the tour with The Smallest Man Who Ever Lives, like she puts on that traditional, what's that jacket? Military style jacket, exactly. And she's marching. I then went and Googled Maddie in a lot of his live shows does salutes and marching as well. So I feel like obviously that's also like another nod to him being the muse in this song. It's also in the Denial playlist, right? She's going to battle for her man because we all know that not many people approved of him as her partner. And I feel like all the things that she's saying, and we'll get into specifics. We'll get into specifics, but all the things that she's saying is kind of telling everybody else and going into bat for him. For example, where she says, like, you know, you should have seen him when he first got me. I'll tell you that he runs because he loves me.
We need to unpack that more further, but
we
just
will.
But touch on that.
Yeah. But don't you think it's her going into like war for this relationship and saying all the reasons why, you know, excusing his bad behaviour to herself and to family and friends?
Yeah. I also had a thought. Listening to the song, it only came to me the other day. She refers to them as her as a doll. Could this be Barbie inspired? She also refers to Ken's, but you know, the Barbie movie came out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It could be.
Totally. That makes a lot of sense as well.
And then so she put herself into that character and just used a lot of these Barbie doll toy references.
Yeah,
I don't know, that's what just came to my, you know, all this toy imagery. I just thought Barbie.
Yeah. And I mean, I think from a timing point of view, that would have been pretty
spot on.
So again, I guess at the start, do you want to start from...
Well, the first line I really wanted to talk about, well, the voices in his head.
Self-sabotage.
And then that first verse is quite a lot. But I wanted to make note of, but you should have seen him when he first got me.
Yeah.
That's really devastating.
I mean, I've been in a relationship before where you're convincing yourself as much as you're trying to convince everyone else around you that no, I'm just trying to get back there. I'm just trying to get back there because I know he has it in him. He can treat me really well, and what we have is really, really special. He's just going through something right now, and I know that's the potential. It's like that whole thing of don't fall in love with someone's potential.
But she definitely is there. We could have played for keeps this time. There must have been other times.
I mean, we know that it's been like a 10-year... That was our theory that we pretty much settled on, that it's been an on and off kind of show for them for 10 years, basically, which is why this whole album is written.
I know I'm just repeating myself. Put me back on my shelf. You know, when you're in this type of relationship and you said you are trying to convince yourself, this just reminded me of you gasbagging with your friends. Telling them this sort of thing. You tell them all of the bad things. Yeah. But then you stay with them. And your friends are in that awkward position where they know your partner isn't treating you right. Yeah. But then they go into group situations and they've got to be cool with your partner. And it's like, well, I actually know how you've been treating my friend and it's not cool with me.
Yeah, I know exactly
And
what
it's
you
that
mean.
totally awkward position that you have to be in. And I feel like her friends would have experienced that. Well, she says, I know I'm just
1,000,000%.
repeating myself.
Yeah. To herself, to her friends, to him, to everyone.
And I also wanted to note, because I think I had found myself once in a relationship, I felt like I was repeating myself to my friends all the time. And I would think, they're getting sick of me. They're getting absolutely sick of me. But I was not ready to leave it yet. I could not leave the relationship. No. But I needed to talk about it all the time. It's so toxic, isn't it? And I just want to thank them for being there for me and hearing me out.
You can't help. Like, in that
time and time again.
No one can tell you. No one can tell you in those situations. You've got to figure it out yourself.
You do.
I feel like at the start where she's like, oh, here we go again. The voices in his head. Let's just... And I'm not trying to diagnose him officially here as a narcissist. But if we play the whole... He has... From her writing, it's clear he has narcissistic tendencies. Whether that's factual or that's just her feelings about him.
The character she's creating is giving that. Whether it's Maddie or not, he's giving that.
Exactly. It's not even just her saying that about justifying it. It's almost like I feel he would play on that for himself to get out of certain situations as well. It's just, I'm just, I'm no good for you. Got some demons. I think it's well documented that he has addictions. So she's kind of also leaning in to those narratives that he's given her to excuse bad behaviour.
God, and I'm sick of that.
Do you know what I mean?
I can't deal with that when people lean in.
It's kind of like someone says like, I'm just no good. I'm just not, I'm not right for you. You deserve better than me. And it's like, well, if I deserve better, then you just be better.
What you're telling me there is that you can't be fucked to change your behaviour to be with me or treat me with respect.
Exactly. But you know that you're not treating me with respect. That's why you're saying you deserve better. But for some reason you can't get your shit together. And I feel in that line, she's like, oh, here we go again. The voices in his head.
God.
Yeah, she's just like kind of leaning on those lines that he's just delivered to her to basically be able to ghost her or retract from her for a little bit.
Get away with some of this behaviour.
Yeah. And that's what she's saying again.
And she convinces her friends, oh, it's okay. He does this, but you should have seen him when he first saw me. He would have been on his best fucking behaviour when he first met her, of course. Because he wanted to get her and get the fine jewel. Exactly. So then, his bad behaviours would slip back in.
Yeah, that, as we said before, that you should have seen him when it's that glimmer of hope that makes... It was probably only there for a week, and it's made her stay for 10 years. They were never that person.
Majority of the time, they could treat you like shit.
Yep.
And then for 1% of the time, they do something good, but you
focus all on that
and grip onto that for dear life.
Because I think also explaining the relationship between them, obviously the highs were very high. No one else has maybe made her feel that high. So she's just being like, no, it's if we can just get back there to that, oh my God, it's going to be pure bliss. But it's like the reality is he's not even that person. He's not even that person that he was performing for you.
He was portraying something that he's not.
Exactly. And I think as well when she says, the title of the song, My Boy Only Breaks His Favourite Toys, for me, that's also, how you said the Barbie reference, it's also a play on, how, like, he's just not that into you when they have that scenario in the playground where when he hits
I was going to talk about this. When you're a little girl, if boys are mean to you, they say,
oh, but he just likes you.
He likes you. That's in our head from that moment. I was going to bring this up.
Yeah.
It's so
and that's
true.
what, don't you reckon that's what that kind of line is also about? It's like, oh, he just breaks his favourite toys. It's like, again, excusing shitty behaviour. Saying, but I'm his favourite though. He breaks me, but I'm still his favourite. Well, he will only like tease you if he likes you. And it's like, well, it's still really shitty regardless.
She does realise that at the end because you are what you did. Remember those?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
And again, I guess the fit, she was just like, because it fit too right. Nothing fits too right. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but not saying he's a narcissist, but this character that we are addressing, narcissists will make you feel like that initially.
What do you mean?
Like it fit too right.
It
fits perfectly.
Yeah. Like it can't be true because it's too good kind of thing. Yeah. Totally. Oh, absolutely. But again, it's like such a stupid excuse for like saying why a relationship can't work, fit too right. And then you should have known it was a matter of time. Like, again, she's just riding that cycle of waves of he's really, really good, he's really, really bad, he's really, really good, he's really, really bad. And she's just like, of course, like, it's just a matter of time before, you know, sleep over and then leg it in the morning and be like, oh, I've got too much going on. I've got, you know, I'm not right for you. I need to get myself better and then I can be the person that you want.
But you should have seen him when he first saw me.
Before you're out of it, all of those lines, you can still convince yourself that he is trying, you know, and I do really mean a lot to him. It's just he's going through a lot right now. And as we've said, she's such an empath. You know, she wants to naturally see the best in people and help people. That just kept her hook, line and sinker.
Do you think she has like a little bit of a saviour?
Definitely a saviour complex. She does. And that's talking from one person who's had a saviour complex before. And that shit takes a long time to unwind and undo and realise when you're doing it.
He saw forever, so he smashed it up.
Again, it's just it's a lame-ass excuse for saying that someone, you know... Like, I understand that being someone who self-sabotages is a thing. Like, you can get a bit too scared of commitment and be like, no, this is too much, and then try and ruin it. But I also just think in this situation, especially because she's put it in the denial playlist, I think she sees it now as well, that these were all just absolute excuses. And it's all just a story that she was telling herself so that she could basically keep him in her life.
And overlook.
And just hope that for whatever reason, you know, she would be enough to fix him. And that he would stop breaking her, essentially. And they would just, you know, run off in the sunset together.
And then this line, now she thinks she needs to be fixed. Once I fix me, he's going to miss me.
That's what I mean.
She thinks something's wrong with her, that he doesn't love her.
Well, she's saying that she doesn't feel like she's enough to basically keep him from going south with his thoughts and being like, no, I'm not good enough. You are not good enough. So he, in the story of being not good enough,
Taylor Swift doesn't think she's good enough. What the heck is going on?
In a love life, though,
there'd be a lot of insecurities.
Yeah.
With her, like, I'm so big. Well, who would want to be with me?
It would be just, I mean, anyone famous in a relationship, it would be really, really, really tough. Let alone if you're Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back up. We get carried away, and I went straight to the last line. So,
are you done with this song, babe?
I'm not. Okay, what's so really screaming out to you here?
For the litany of reasons, I think that's the paragraph we're up to.
It's so desperate when she sings, I know I'm just repeating myself.
That's what I'm saying.
Put me back on my shelf.
Well, so there's a litany of reasons why we could have played for keeps this time. I know I'm just repeating myself. So it's like he's gone. Well, how I see this is he's going into the spiral about why this can't work, and she's just like, no, like, we'll be right, like, we'll get through this, like, I'll help you here and I'll do this here and we'll figure this out. Basically, this conversation that she's had with him many, 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 many times. She's repeating herself so many times about the same thing. Again, desperation, trying to convince him that she's good enough, she's worth it, the relationship's worth it, he's worth it, he's enough. It's just...
She's just doing all the work here on her own.
Yeah, he's trying to run. And she's trying to run after him. In this song, anyway.
God.
Yeah, put me back on my shelf. What I thought about that as well, she'll always be there, just waiting. You know?
That's sad.
Isn't that so sad? It's like, oh no, just put me back on my shelf. Like, yeah, just put me up there.
I'll wait here till you're ready.
I'll wait here until you're ready and when you want to play with me again. But first, pull the string and I'll tell you that he runs because he loves me. Again, I've been in that relationship where you basically just say, no, he loves me so much. That's why he's running, because he's scared. And it's like...
Of this big feeling of love that he has for me.
Exactly, and he's got trauma and he's got demons.
And he's never felt this before for anyone else but
exactly,
me.
and that's why it scares him so much. And fuck the shit you tell yourself. Awful.
That's awful.
Another reason why this is so well fitting for the denial playlist. Again, she repeats because you should have seen him when he first saw me, and she repeats it because that's honestly what she's obviously repeating to herself in her head.
She's holding on to that.
God, I feel so bad for her. She's spitting out the reasons that he said to her, which allows her to keep holding on to hope in that situation. It's just like, I'm running because I'm a bit scared because, you know, you scare me. These emotions scare me. And she's like, oh, wow. You know?
Wow.
Like that in her, when you don't know better in those relationships, you think that that's bloody, like, beautiful and tragic, but you think it's beautiful.
And at the time,
like
you can't see it's toxic.
But you can't at the time you can't see, actually, this is just unhealthy. This is so unhealthy. This isn't actually even though it brings out so much emotion in me, that doesn't mean that it's love. What love truly is, you know? And yeah, once I fix me, he's gonna miss me. Once I fix me.
She wants to change herself.
I know.
To fit.
I know.
Like one of these puzzle pieces.
I wrote down here, like, I just want to tell her, run. Like, just run from him. Like,
But do you think if she was your friend...
Yeah.
You know, they say, listen, you can't be too truthful with your friends because at the end of the day, you could lose your friendship with them.
Yeah, or like they'll agree with you and then the next week they're back with them and you're like, fuck, they know exactly what I thought.
And you're not going to be invited to any of the gatherings or any of the
I've definitely
parties.
misspoken before about friends' boyfriends.
Have you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm like. I can be a little bit outspoken. I've had to really learn to just pause.
Yes, but from my point of view, your opinion matters so much, I think. And I always think that you come at it from a very neutral standpoint.
I think that's something I learned because I've made those mistakes when I was younger with friends that I was really close with. And like I've thought that they've broken up with their boyfriend. I was like, yeah, he's a bloody idiot. Like, didn't like him anyway. And then next week they're like with him. And you're like, oh, okay. And they're like, yeah, we're back together. And you're like, shit. They know what I think about that person.
And they've probably told the partner, maybe.
Exactly, and then it just makes it awkward. But I've definitely learned there's a way of having concern for a friend and talking about your friends that, you know, maybe are in bad relationships without kind of saying it in a way that then just makes them want to push away from you and then stop being honest with you about what's going on with them. Because that's the thing, you don't want to ever say anything that's really, that just makes them go, okay, well, I don't feel safe now. I'm not going to
shut down.
I'm not going to tell you next week when we have an argument. I'm not going to tell you what I think about him or anything like that. And then they become even more isolated. And then the more isolated that person becomes, the less likely they're ever able to leave that relationship because they go, well, if I don't have them, I don't have anyone.
That's so thoughtful. But maybe you came to that point of view through all your training.
Yes. And not lots of making mistakes, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to be non-judgmental.
You never like that with me.
Oh, that's good.
I don't think you ever were. You just held space for me.
Oh.
You're going to cry.
No.
Maybe I'll cry.
Maybe.
Down at the Sandlot. I'd never heard Sandlot before.
I think I had.
Sandlot.
Sandlot. I think it's a very American term.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it. I had to Google it.
I've had to do that many times with Taylor Swift lyrics. So
oh yeah, everyone does. Get your dictionaries out, Swifties. Yeah. Okay. I felt more when we played Pretend than with all the Kens.
That's her kind of almost admitting there that she knows that it's not real.
She's admitting it there, isn't she?
Like what they have hasn't actually ever come through yet. Like it's never actually been like a real relationship because it's just never gotten to that point because it like gets close and then it's not, and then it gets close and gets not, and then it fades away for whatever reason. That's what I think anyway when she's saying that. I think that she's kind of saying...
She's aware at the end.
Yeah. That like we play Pretend. I just can't get over the fact where she's saying, I felt more when we played Pretend than with all the Kens because he took me out of my box.
She's a used toy now.
I see it as like she felt more because it was actually her imagination of what the relationship could be.
Oh,
you know how like
fuck.
when you play with
She
toys, you
sees-
use your imagination, and you like, let's go over here and let's go over there.
I
and let's
played
go
with my
there.
Barbies till I was like 13, and I was
mean-
too scared to tell anyone I was that old playing with them. Honestly, I did not give Barbies up for a long, long time.
I remember I never had any Barbies, and I could only play with Barbies when I
I
went
had
to your
40
house.
Barbies.
That's excessive.
They were all secondhand Barbies.
That's pretty good, actually.
Anyway, I played with them for way too long. But yeah, I think you're right. She used to
Yeah, I feel
imagine what they could be, or...
yeah, she felt more using her imagination than she ever felt in like a real relationship. Well, yeah, because it was your imagination. It wasn't him. That's why you felt more. It's because he could be whatever you wanted him to be, or what you thought. Again, the whole falling in love with someone's potential. It's like if they can just get their shit together. These are all the qualities he already has. These are all the ones that I know he will have. And this is how he'll show up for me. And in my mind, blah, 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 blah.
And this is how the story ends.
And this is how
happily
the story
ever
ends,
after.
happily ever after. And it's like, well, yeah, of course you felt more. You made it up. Like, he was never this person. And it's not all on... this sounds like I'm blaming her. What I mean is he fed her enough so that she ran away with it.
Yeah.
You know?
He drip fed her.
Exactly. Stole my tortured heart, left all the broken parts, told me I'm better off.
I wrote
but I'm
classic. Told me I'm better off.
not. I wrote,
That is
yes,
the last,
you are.
That is the last thing you want to hear. You're better off without me.
That's what I mean, like these like
Fuck
stupid,
no,
like,
I
oh,
want
here
to
we
be
go
with
again.
you. Can't you hear me?
Here we go again, the voices in your head. Just all of those, you know, because the pieces fit too right. All through this, again, it told me I'm better off. It's just these like stupid things. Like it's, you know, it's the whole, it's not you, it's me. You know, that's the classic line. Well, no, like obviously it is something here. Don't feed me that bullshit line. Either like stop trying to pretend that you are the right person for me and then ripping the rug out from underneath me when, you know, shit gets too real for you. She's just a toy. She's just the favorite toy that you wanna get and you wanna play with. But then once you get it, it's old.
I find this song is actually really sad. She's trying to convince him, stop hurting me. Mm-hmm. But she can't, like, she's going to waste her energy trying to convince him of that rather than just walking away.
Yeah.
He's not treating me right. I'm going to walk away. No, I'm going to stay here and try and convince him to not treat me
Exactly.
this way. That's really sad. And that screams like
It's
lots
giving.
of insecurities.
Yeah, it is. It is. But that's what I think the amazing thing about Taylor as well is that she is just so vulnerable in her songs because listen, she's 35.
If we're turning 34.
I never can keep up with my age these
She's
days.
turning 35 in December.
Yep, so
she's a year older than
So
us.
she's 34 currently. She might be like far out. I don't want people to know that I keep making these shitty mistakes with men at my age. But the thing is that
She's not scared.
no, I love that
To share
about her
that.
because that's the reality of the situation. You do keep
Yes, and it can take you a few times.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
and that's okay. But she's not trying to pretend that she's got it all figured out, is what I'm trying to say. No, I'm 34. I'm still figuring out. I still get looped in with fuckboys left, right, and centre, and still waste my time with men that are never going to show up for me.
That's probably why another reason that we love her.
Yeah, it's because she's just so raw and honest, and she just so vulnerably writes about her life, even the parts that sometimes make her look insecure or make her look desperate or make her look whatever. And the reality is
Putting a song out like this would be really
and there's
harsh.
no shame in that because as we've said tonight, we've been there too.
Honestly, it takes me more than once to learn a lesson.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes I'm going up to double digit. You know?
It's just so sad how she leaves the end with, but I'm not.
I would absolutely love a video clip for this song because you could play on the Barbie doll thing. Imagine the costumes for this film clip.
Do you know what's so funny? I actually thought, before she put the TTPD set list in the Eras tour, I actually thought she might do this one. I don't know. I just had I had such a strong pull to this song as well that I thought this could be done really well live, and
Yeah,
now
I
seeing
did
the
think
set also being a bit of an army vibe, and that's what, you know, The Smallest Man is. I feel like it could have really
But she
slotted in
doesn't
there.
sing the whole Smallest Man. She sort of goes from Around the Bridge on.
Yes, yeah. No.
I don't know how she chose. She
Yeah.
did more than I thought she would do. I thought she would only do 4.
I know, the fact that she...
But really, 4 songs out of 31. But she did more than that. Okay, do we need to talk about anything else?
I think we kind of nailed that. Just the fact that...
I love this song.
I love this
What
song
do you go?
so
Okay,
much.
let's just, before we go, what's your favourite line?
I think because you should have seen it when you first saw me. I think for me, that just personally hits hard because I've been in a relationship where, like, I've literally verbatim have said that to myself. I've definitely held on, to be honest, like, not even just in a romantic relationship, like, even just with friendships now, thinking about it now.
We had so many good times.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, sometimes it's because they're trying to be... They like the way that they look in your eyes, but they've never that person. You know what I mean?
They like how they look in your eyes.
And I feel Maddie liked the way that Taylor saw him.
It would have made him feel
It
so
would have
good
made him
about
feel
himself.
Exactly. And because the reality is he's not that guy that she wanted him to be. And he maybe really wanted to be that guy for her too.
I think he probably did.
But he just wasn't. And you can't pretend to be someone that you aren't. Because it not just resonates with me in like a romantic relationship, even in friendships, like when, you know, shit happens for whatever reason, you know, people let you down. And then you realise, I thought we had this. I thought we had this really special connection. It's just like, actually, it wasn't what I thought it was.
Or maybe it evolved into something else and now it's past its use by date.
And you're trying to be like, but we were so close. Like, we were best friends. We had so much in common. And
you're a different person then.
Yeah. Or they never were that person ever. And it was just that they liked how they looked or how they sounded when you were
with them.
Mm. Anyway, that's what I think. And I'm going to go with an 8.5.
Wow, we're doing halves. You didn't say that I could do halves.
Well, you were doing 6/7
No, I was doing 7 and rising.
That's true, 7 and rising. Well, this one's getting a half, okay? 8.5. What's your favourite line?
Lyric and music wise together. When she slows down and says, because he took me out of my box, stole my tortured heart, left all these broken parts. That really gives me goose pimples, chicken skin. That.
It is very, very sad.
I love every lyric in this song, to be honest. I love every lyric. It's such a well-written song. Everything about it.
She wrote it all by herself.
I feel like this one would have just poured out of her.
Yeah.
Absolutely poured out of her. It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
So I've given you what my favourite lines were, all of them. And now I'm going to give my rating.
Okay.
Maybe 9.
Wow. I get it.
But I feel like in these next few episodes, I'm going to be bringing out the big numbers.
Same. I am too. That's why it's like, it's an 8.5.
This is a devastating song, but it's a bop. It makes you get up and scream.
Boy.
This in the car.
So good.
Okay. Let's move on to the next song. Oh my God, I'm so happy to talk about this song.
What song are we up to now?
But Daddy, I love
him.
It
is. Okay, great.
From the moment I heard this song, I fell in love with it.
I'm going to say something extremely controversial.
Will it get you kicked out of this room? Maybe you should think again.
Well, you might kick me out of this room. I'll kick you out of my house.
Oh, shit.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Ivy would be devastated when she woke up in the morning and I wasn't here.
No,
This is track 6, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Credits.
I've got that. Aaron and Taylor.
I do really like this song. Sorry, I do really love this song. I don't like this song. I do really love this song. But everyone that I've spoken to, yourself, some other Swiftie friends that we have,
they don't like it.
No. They love it. And I just don't feel that intensity love about it. And I question myself being like, why don't I feel like that? Everyone seems to just think it is just such a banger. Obviously, Taylor thinks it's a banger. It's in the Eras set list.
That doesn't mean anything, though, I don't think.
Because
there's some songs in the Eras set list that are there for the majority of people that aren't true Swifties. If I hear on TikTok another person ask, what's your favourite song, Taylor song, and they say
Blank Space.
No, Shake It Off.
I see Blank Space all the time. I mean, Blank Space is a banger.
Well, Travis was just asked what his favourite songs were, and he said Blank Space, So High School, and The Alchemy, which just cements the fact that those songs are about him.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that, but it's nice to know that he obviously froths it and is giving a little like, yeah, they're about me.
You know, I immediately thought this song was about Maddie. Screams Maddie.
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
This is my absolute pump-up track, this song.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I messaged you the other day, and I'd been on a walk, and at the end of my walk, there's these stairs. I had this song on. You should see me.
Oh,
I get to the top and I
can imagine.
Nearly dead, but I'm also grooving, waiting for the...
Yeah. Wish we had a camera on you.
I love it.
It's also such a long song.
I know. I'm so happy about it.
Not, and I don't say that in a negative way. I just say it's just, I've noticed how much longer it is than a lot of the other songs, just as an observation.
This song, there's a lot of religious references.
Very church, very southern.
Yeah. And can we just say, Sarah's and Hannah's get a shout out in this song.
Yeah. Not in a great way.
Well, they're looking their best. They're looking their Sunday best. I want my name to be in a song. Fuck.
I know.
Anyway, Sarah's and Hannah's, congratulations. You made it.
Yeah. Also, the title.
But Daddy, I Love Him. Yep. Go for it.
Thank you.
Action, baby.
So, remember when the track lists were first announced and everyone was like, oh, this is Ariel from The Little Mermaid, which obviously that is accurate. That line is said in it. But remember when we first listened to it and I called you and I was like, this just feels, again, so southern, so church-like, and running with a dress unbuttoned. That line in particular. Screams The Notebook.
One of our favourite movies.
Such a good movie.
Ever.
And then you said to me, doesn't she say that? And I was like, no, I don't think she does say that.
She does. She says, not but Daddy, I Love Him. It's when she also is running with her dress unbuttoned. Remember, they go to make love?
Yeah.
I watch this movie so I can feel feels.
Love it.
And have a little cry.
Yeah. So, again, that's probably why we also listen to Taylor Swift.
So her and Ali and...
Noah.
So I want to watch this when I go home.
No.
I am. You don't control me.
100th time, right?
Yeah. They've gone to make love. They get rudely interrupted by a friend, don't they? And they rush home because Ali's parents are looking for her. So her dress is undone. She runs into the house. But it's not
even just that scene. The whole movie of that at the start. Remember, she's constantly in those summer dresses and she's running, sprinting into his arms all the time.
I got goosebumps then.
You know, so again, that's when I heard that. I think now there's been some TikTok theories and they've played The Notebook under like the scenes from The Notebook with this sound.
Oh,
so
really?
I've seen something.
Why didn't you send that to me? I would love that.
Sorry, I should have.
But she says he's trying to, the mum's very against her being with him, and the dad's sort of like, listen, you Ali doll, you really shouldn't be with him.
Yeah.
And he says, do you really love this boy? And she says, Daddy, I love him.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's other than just the Ariel as well. Like it is such an iconic movie for
forbidden love.
Exactly. Obviously she relates to the character Ali, she relates to the character of Ariel, and she has written this song basically being that main character in that, because she had all these naysayers, Sarah's and Hannah's, people in her life that were just, darling, this is never going to work out.
But who are they saying this about?
Maddie.
It's
for
Maddie.
The 50th time. No, it's about Maddie, clearly.
I just love it every time it gets to the chorus.
It is.
It makes me want to rip open my top. Not really, because I'm probably not wearing a bra, but I love it. Screaming, but Daddy, I love him. Okay.
Running through a field type of vibes.
It is.
Yeah.
Like Beauty and the Beast, and she's running through the field with all the flowers. I love seeing the reaction videos of people listening to this chorus for the first time when she says, I'm having his baby. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not. Taylor is an absolute crack up.
She is. I mean, I think we all kind of just had to take a moment when she first said that. You're like, have his baby? What? Oh, okay. She's talking to her parents saying, I'm having his baby. Like,
she's desperate.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that would allow them to stay together in what she sees her parents' mind.
Yeah. She's trying to prove as well, that's how serious I am about him. You're not going to stop me. I'm having his baby. No, I'm not. But that's the kind of the intensity that she's coming at it with, of how important this relationship is to her. Again, it's a very good girl gone rebellious song.
Totally.
You know, like she's she's grown up, you know, young, tendrils tucked behind her ears, going to church.
Braid, you mean?
Yeah. Interwoven braid. You know, she's going to church. She's always said, you know, in that Miss Americana documentary that she did, she spoke about how she just wanted to always be the good girl. Like she always just wanted to, you know, do
the people
everything.
Pleaser.
Yeah, do everything right by everyone, because she already felt she was an imposter from kind of being there. In this song, she's like, no, when do I actually just get what I want? And I also felt this is the reason why this is such a denial song, is because on reflection, those fucking Hannahs and Sarahs were right. You know what I mean? My parents, you know, people dressed in empath clothing and all that kind of stuff.
Vipers.
Yeah, vipers, exactly. So I feel like it's a denial song because she wouldn't even want to look at the fact that, oh God, okay, maybe they did have a bit of a point there.
I think that so she's with Maddie. Mm-hmm. Let's give it a bit of a timeline. Let's create a story around this. She's with Maddie. Maybe they're doing it privately at first, or people think it's a little bit of a rebound. Whatever, go for it, doll.
Yeah.
Have this rebound. And then she was, no, this is actually more than what you think it is. I'm in love with this guy and I'm going to have his baby. And that's when everyone said, whoa, 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 whoa. Did we mishear you? This is a rebound, no? And she, you know, and Tree would have freaked out, her publicist.
Oh, she had her work cut out for her, that's for sure. Rebranding that.
She had a
now she must be going, yes. What an album.
You know what would have been hard? So she convinced, but it is sad that she shouldn't have to convince people that the person that she wants to be with should be with her.
Well, that's what I was like, you know, how she was saying, soon enough the elders had convened down at the city hall.
That would be
stay
her team.
Away from her. That's what I was thinking. I was like, that must have been, I reckon there was like a proper meeting about it. How do we package this up? Like, how are we gonna, you can't be with him.
Do you think it was getting Ice Spice to do the collaboration?
I feel like I thought it was that they got Ice Spice involved. We're kind of not explaining ourselves here. Maddie historically had said some really disparaging things about Ice Spice. And I thought that they had already, Taylor had already chosen to work with Ice Spice.
Okay.
And then stuff came out that Maddie had said some negative things about her.
Oh, okay. Because it was really quick moving. I was thinking, wow, Tree, you've really outdone yourself.
But maybe they saw that coming. They might have seen it coming, but it hadn't come out. I don't think it had come out yet. I think she had already, like, the Karma video had already come out. And then the stuff about Maddie, then what Maddie had said had come out after that. Potentially, that's the meeting, all of this stuff blowing up as well.
Okay, I know we all see it in this romantic light, but there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, like Taylor's love life. It would have romantic moments, but it's not. Everything's planned. She goes everywhere with 4 security guards. Imagine saying loving things to Travis when you're in the club dancing.
I know.
You want to mutter a little sexy comment in his ear.
And you've got this guy.
Security guard right there. You want to grind up on him in the nightclub.
I mean,
security guard right behind you.
We've seen those videos at Coachella and everything when there's just random dudes and just like, God, that would be weird.
If her and Travis wanted to have dates, the security guards would go to the place first to check it out, make sure it's okay.
Have you seen some of those videos though where Travis sits back down at the table with Taylor? There's a security guard.
Yeah, they leave.
Do you see how he just relaxes and picks up his phone and starts scrolling? God, if the security guards feel like they would get to see the behind the scenes of them. We're really going off topic here, but we've just got
Swifties love it.
Yeah. If the security guards can feel relaxed around Travis, she just must feel so safe, you know?
Yeah, because she would feel unsafe everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
But
anyway, and that's their job to keep her safe. So if they're feeling relaxed, then it just shows that what they would see behind doors with their relationship is like how much he protects her and holds her up high, which is just beautiful.
It's so beautiful. But where I was coming from was there's a lot of logistics that go on behind the scenes that would take a lot of the romantic elements from their relationship. So yes, it would be right that they would be having a meeting about something like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think there's meetings about everything. Something as simple as going to a restaurant, there'd be a meeting about. So they would 100% be having, what does it say here?
Soon after the elders convene down at the city hall.
Exactly. So they would be. They're having a big powwow over whether Taylor should be with Maddie.
Yeah.
And She's probably there advocating for herself. Or maybe her mum is. Do you think her mum would be?
I don't know. I feel like her mum, like, I think I've said to you about this before, is that the dad in this era of her life, Scott just seems so much more prominent and present than Andrea does.
He has a role in her company, doesn't he?
Yeah, but they both do. And they always have.
So you're wondering, where is Andrea?
So I was just like, yeah, I just feel she's taken a back seat.
Because she's Taylor's best friend.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's just like nothing and she's taken a back seat because she doesn't...
Well, Taylor's brother Austin just had a baby with his partner, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they did.
Wow. She's probably busy.
She's busy.
Yeah. She's busy being mother-in-law.
I'm 99% sure that that's just what happened recently.
We'll have to fact check that. I was just thinking about these meetings. Remember when she in the I'm referring to Miss Americana again.
About the politics.
Yeah.
That's why I think...
And she was there and they were all, well, it's not safe, it's not, you can't be saying these things. Really... And she's sitting there basically crying.
She was.
To her team saying...
I want to speak up about...
this is important to me. Like, I'm going to be on the right side of history here and I'm going to say... and you can imagine her having that exact same conversation, except that the words are more, no, this is my life. I do everything your way. I make sure that I say the right things and do the right thing. I don't step a foot out of line. I'm easy to manage. I, hit my deadlines. I love my fans. Like all of those things. It's like, actually, like I'm going to do this for me because I deserve it.
Because the boundaries are so blurred when it comes to, because people make a lot of money off her, people who are invested in her company or her music.
Yeah, I literally wrote that, Georgie. I said, people are invested in the brand,
so
image of her.
So where does it end?
Yeah.
With Taylor Swift, the musical icon that we know and love.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift.
Just the person.
The human.
Exactly.
That we also know and love.
Yeah.
Well, we think we know, but we love.
Yeah.
She needs something.
Yeah.
And she says, I learned these people only raise you to cage you. So that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, it's just like you need to stay in your lane. Don't step out of it. Which I guess in terms of music, she's been she got to that point of rebelling as well. You know what I mean? She was like, no, this is how I'm going to write my songs or, sell my music. I'm going to own it myself. I'm going to not just do country. I'm going to do, pop. And she released 1989. Like she's always been kind of pushing the boundaries. And now she's like, no, I'm now going to just push the boundaries for my personal life.
She's constantly trying to convince them.
And this time I'm taking my love life into my own hands. I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. And it would be freaking annoying, these people telling you, oh no, you can't date him or he's not right for you. When it potentially is a part of, it's not even maybe a friend saying that. You know what I mean? Because if a friend,
old fart.
they're invested in you having a certain image because it benefits them, And so she'd be sick of trying to convince people who are just more invested in the brand.
Maybe it was her dad saying, he's not great, honey.
I'm sure.
And she says, but daddy, I love him.
Yeah. I'm sure that's not for nothing that she said that.
I love how she says, no, I'm not coming to my senses. I love that line. I know he's crazy, but he's the one that I want.
I know, I love that too. It's so good.
Dutiful daughter, all my plans were laid. She says it herself. Her life is planned 2 years in advance. He was chaos, he was revelry, bedroom eyes like a remedy. Maddie, Maddie, Maddie.
Totally.
The saboteurs protested too much. I love the chorus. I absolutely love the chorus. Another favourite bit of mine is, I'll tell you something right now.
Read that fave line.
I love it. I'd rather burn my whole life down.
Exactly. That's what that's that intensity of saying like, I do not give a fuck. Zero fucks.
Which is big. Look at the legacy that she has. Then listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning. I love that. I scream this verse so loudly.
I love all the TikToks that have put it against like
mums and kids.
Yeah.
About their dinner times.
Exactly.
Or just the house being messy.
Yeah, I get it. Feels.
This bit, God save the most judgmental creeps who say they want what's best for me. You know what? I feel really bad for having thoughts about, I don't know if I verbalized them, but when all that, it came out in the news that she was dating Maddie, I was thinking, I don't know about this guy at all. I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
But then some things came out, and I know I was just being fed what was ever trending online, TikTok at the time, so who knows if it's true, but I did have a thought, like, what do you...
But also...
This is not who I thought I saw you with, but then who am I to say that? She can be with whoever she wants, and I sort of feel that she's angry at everyone. We don't need to tell her what...
No.
The audience doesn't need to tell her what their opinion is. Why should she give a shit?
Yeah.
She shouldn't give a shit.
No.
She doesn't want to hear it, and it would have been detrimental to their relationship. I think it wouldn't have helped. It would have made it worse. She says they got closer from it, but it definitely wouldn't have helped. Imagine him hearing that. No one wants me to be with you. He probably liked that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I totally get what you're saying.
But I felt bad for her. Imagine hearing that from all angles.
Well,
Everyone's
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's true or it's not true. Nobody likes to be told about their life.
It's also none of your business.
No. No one likes to be told about who someone can be with or just told about anything in their life. Like, you want to go through it yourself and make your own mistakes and fall on your face. And that's
she has the right to make those mistakes. And just because she's in the public eye,
exactly.
We don't give them any grace for making mistakes. Imagine if
they
your
get
life,
cancelled.
all your past relationships were online and we could see them and track them, and we saw you on your vacations and all the one-night stands you had.
We don't need that. I don't have any one-night stands. Thank you very much.
No. Oh my God, that's so true. I'm just talking about neither did... Oh
maybe I did.
I just ran away with it. But I'm just saying, I'm talking openly about everybody.
Yeah. I get you.
Just little things I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, and
of course she doesn't get the benefit of being able to completely I mean, one thing I want to go back to, and it's right at the start actually, she said sometimes growing up precocious means not growing up at all, and she mentions a precocious child, I think in another song, I can't remember what others, but she mentions being precocious, and basically that means, you know, showing attributes of being like very mature at like a young age. So she's just saying, well, when you grow up maturer than your age, you're not really growing up at all. And I feel that's what she means by that whole, like, she never got to make those mistakes of those younger relationships because she had to grow up really quick. Fast because she was in the public eye, and she just had to get it, always look like she had to have her shit together. The reality is like, doesn't matter how famous she is, how intelligent she is or whatever, she is still a young woman going through...
People forget that.
Love, breakup, grief. And, you know, it's just lovely that she writes about it to let us in, because we learn from her too. But it doesn't exclude her from making those mistakes.
Yes. She knows that she has to watch what she does because she is in the public eye. And it is a lot of young women who follow her. And she is aware that, you know, what she wears, you know, she is aware of that from a young age. So it is a fine line between... being yourself and being just true to you. And being constantly thinking about somebody else. I think there's some famous people, I think like Rihanna or something, that she was like, no, I'm not a role model. I don't want to put that pressure on myself. Like, I'm just living my life. And that's all well and good. But the reality is you actually don't get the choice of whether you are a role model. People look up to you. Yeah. And with Taylor, she's known that her whole life. But in this song, I actually don't care. I don't care anymore. You would get to that point. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna choose me. I'm gonna choose me. Because I just was in a relationship that fully sucked the life out of me for 6 years. And I didn't choose me. And I constantly choose him. And now I'm choosing me. The reality is she still wasn't choosing her. And that's why this song is another denial song. Yeah. Because he just was, he wasn't, she thought what she was fighting for was worth it. But sadly, you know, this is another, like, lesson in love for her. God. Awful. It's just white noise, and it's my choice. You're right, doll. It is your choice. Oh, all you want is grey for me. I love that line. Me and my wild boy and all this wild joy. So good. It really paints a picture of what their relationship would have been like at its peak. Probably that 1% that she was trying to get. About that 1% that she was trying to get back to, you know. And then it goes into the final bit of the song, and she changes some of the lyrics in the chorus. We went back to my parents, and they came around. I was literally just thinking, Maddie turning up to the concerts, him and Scott dancing together. Yeah. Do you really feel like they did fully come around? Do you reckon? Yes.
Yeah.
This last chorus I love. This really lifts me up as well. She's still talking about a wild boy and a wild joy.
He was chaos, he was revelry.
My favourite line and section of the song is this last bit, screaming, but daddy, I love him. And then she starts to put little beats in between these last lines. And she's like, I'm having his baby. And then she has that big break. No, I'm not.
Yeah. And that's in the set list too, and it looks so good.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
See your faces. I love the timing of that. Oh my God.
I should see your faces.
I just love it.
It's so good. And the stomp and clap in the Eras Tour set list. It's like that dance.
I actually have
was
a
made
dance
for that
routine
song.
for this song.
Oh.
It came naturally to me.
Maybe
and
you
it's
could
so
put it
good.
as like a
could be
bonus
TikTok.
part.
I'm not a dancer at all, but this one just came naturally to me. And I can't get up now because I don't want the video to jolt, but I would show you all. But maybe I will be starting a viral trend for the But Daddy, I Love Him.
Love it. I mean, yeah. As much as I'm not saying it was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed, as other people feel so strongly about this song. You can't deny it does make you just want to get up and like have a dance and just be like, fuck 'em. For my favourite line.
Okay, sorry, yeah, tell me what your favourite line is.
For my favourite line, I think then it's just White Noise. It's my choice. Like for the if all you want is great for me.
I want to put it on right now.
My choice.
Woo!
I love that.
Yeah,
really
I love
good.
it so much. Okay, and what do you give it?
I give it a 7.
Get out of here. We're done.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what I give it.
Well, I cannot deny
7.5.
I know it's very playful and a bit childish, this song, do you think?
Yeah, it's rebellious. It's like kind of like throwing her toys out of the pram a bit.
Throwing the toys out of the pram. I love that. But it just makes me feel everything. And so I give it a 10.
Well,
did I hold that the right way?
You should have told me. I would have prepared something
Is that the
earlier.
right way? 10,
yes.
everyone. If you're not watching the video, I'm holding up a sign. And all I could see was find this is orange marker.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think that's good? I was planning that.
Well, clearly.
Okay. I give it a 10.
An orange marker.
I felt nervous doing that. I give it a 10 because...
Wow. Good for you.
No,
good for you.
For a second there, I felt self-conscious about my 10.
Why?
Because you gave it such a low number. You gave it a 7.
It's all personal. It doesn't mean that for me, as we've said so many times, it's evolutionary. It doesn't mean that this song won't ever be a 10 for me. It's just not right now. Not right now. That's okay. Love that for you, though.
A 10. I love it.
Yeah, I get it.
Love it.
I feel I'm in the minority. So many people think that's a 10.
And you know, I typically like to go be the outlier, don't I?
You do.
As a 4, I like to be different.
If you haven't done an Enneagram, it's a personality test. George is a 4.
And Taylor,
I'm
we
a
thought
2.
was the same as me.
But no.
We just
Oh, yes.
reconvened down at the City Hall.
Yeah, and she's also a 2.
And we think she's a 2 now.
She's
but
like me.
She could, when she's a healthy 2, she turns into a 4.
Yeah.
But we might have to do an episode on that. Could be fun.
I reckon we should do
Analysing
an episode on
Taylor's Enneagram.
And then our own.
That's so good. High five that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, but I'm the majority here.
Yes,
Am I?
absolutely. I think so. I think most people really resonate with that song, love it, have it on repeat, have it loud. For me, I do really, really enjoy it, but it's not one that I'm like, yeah, let's put that on.
I want you to feel what I'm feeling.
I know. It's not that I don't feel it, I just think I feel others more.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to see what you give a 10.
I know.
If
Me
you have
too.
any 10s.
I do, for sure. You got it.
Let's do what news reporters do and just shuffle our notes of it.
Okay, hold on.
Can you see that we're not working on our phones this time, people? We've got notes. I don't know if it's helped or hindered me. But anyway, so I suppose we should wrap that up.
Yeah, it was a lot to cover. There were actually really big songs on the album, I think.
They
like
were
really big moments. Big moments for her.
Big moments.
Oh, big yawn.
Big yawn. You wrap us up. Wrap us up.
I'll wrap us up. So that was episode 4. Great ep.
Well, we think. The jury's out. Let us know if you think it was a great ad.
Yeah. And if not, don't let us know.
Yeah, don't let us know, or do it kindly, please, because I'm not too good at taking
don't
feedback.
come for us. Yeah.
Constructive criticism.
Episode 4, The Swift Department, Alan G's version. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Over there in Croatia.